Media. Oh, Tesla Cybertruck driven. Oh, is it out?
Tesla Cybertruck has been kind of an enigma. It was revealed 4 years ago, almost to the day. And ever since then, it was kind of quiet. But then we slowly started seeing them rolling around like California a little bit, and then a couple.
You seriously getting excited about Elon Musk's product? I'm not excited. I'm not going to buy it. I just want to see it. It looks ridiculous to me, but I want to see how it works.
In Texas, and these are like prototypey.
Like if I see this on the road, I'm blowing it up with an RPG in GTA.
Cybertrucks, and they were testing. Turns out one of them was
like, who really wants to drive this?
me. Well, for a day anyway. So what we have here is a near final.
Like imagine driving this and then a nigga dust you in a Honda Civic.
Cybertruck.
It's just crazy to think about.
It's not an actual.
Look at these wheels.
Truck yet. It's still one that they've been testing. So there's some small prototype things here or there. But everything that I'm about to show you is what's going to show up in the customer's delivery trucks starting basically right now. So I've learned a lot about this truck in my time testing it. There are some surprising things about it. Some features.
You're getting destroyed by a Nissan Altima. If you pull up and I'm at a red light and I got a Nissan, you're getting destroyed. You're getting dusted.
Really cool. It's things that I think truck people are really going to like, but also some concerns that I have, some surprises. Buckle up. There's going to be a mega video. Get subscribed. There's a lot to it. Let's take a look at the final Tesla Cybertruck.
Okay, let me see it.
One in the front. And it's going to be able to do 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds, an 11-second quarter mile. It's got about 845 horsepower. It has torque vectoring at the rear, and it's absurd. They call it.
So it goes from 0 to 60 in 2.7. I know that a Nissan isn't as fast as it. Chill. You said it's a PS2 vehicle. Chill. 0 to 60 in 2 seconds is really weird. I don't like that, but I love it at the same time.
An 11-second quarter mile. It's got about 845 horsepower. It has torque vectoring at the rear, and it's absurd. They call it the Beast.
130 top speed? Really? This what y'all been going crazy over? It's bulletproof? Y'all have no ops. I hate when people do that, man. You got people that never been into it with nobody. Fully tinted windows, bulletproof vehicle. Nobody's looking for you, bro. You good. You was raised your whole life, no static with nobody. You never stepped out the house. You are fine. You do not need a bulletproof vehicle, gang. You good. You chilling. Nobody looking for you.
It's a pretty ridiculous set of specs. I think that makes it the fastest production pickup truck factory ever. But there's also going to be a dual motor version that they also start to ship early, and eventually also a single motor rear wheel drive version. The triple motor is going to start at about $100,000. So this is new information. We kind of had a much lower idea of what the price is going to be at launch.
Oh my
God, $100,000 truck you're looking at. Expect somewhere around $75,000, $85,000 for the dual motor version, and then the single motor will be further down the road. But the dual motor is still 600 plus horsepower and still plenty fast. But that's the general basics. And as far as range, we'll get to the wheels in a second, but it's about a 340 mile max range from the absolute most efficient version.
I'm sorry. Oh. He just blew me for a second.
A couple other last numbers things that I think some truck people will appreciate. First of all, towing capacity and bed capacity. Those are some things that Tesla's told me. I'm going to put the numbers up here. I think it's 2,500 pounds for the bed, which is pretty cool. And we also measured the truck.
Removable wheel. Yeah, what's this wheel about?
Premium tire that's going to come on a 20-inch rim. All of the.
Now, the wheel looks terrible, but it also looks like impenetrable at the same time.
The initial trucks, triple motor, dual motor, they'll all have this tire on it. Looks like it's a bespoke Goodyear tire. It's got some neat little aesthetic tweaks and I'm sure compound tweaks and tread stuff here. But this is a plastic aero cap with like this outside rubber. It's actually a two-piece. And it'll get you a couple % more range on the truck. But if you don't like the look of it, or if you're off-roading, pop that off. And that's how the truck's stock wheel will look.
Definitely better.
Grease and metal in there. But this is a two-part thing, like I said. So if I can rip this off, these are the two pieces. And the reason it's two parts is because they actually wanted these to line up with the little rectangles on the tire. So maybe you want to take the aero caps off to air down the tires and go off-roading and you want maximum brake cooling, whatever you're doing. But if you want to put these back on, you sort of line all of this up.
Okay, I feel you.
And then you take the plastic bit.
Okay.
Okay, great. Moving on. So, okay, you kind of can't really tell the story of the Cybertruck without addressing the fact that it is a giant stainless steel triangle. I mean, it looks surreal. Like, there is not really a single curve on this entire truck. Every single piece, these are giant pieces of stainless steel. There's all sorts of sheen and fingerprint implications that we'll talk about, but I don't know. It's an aesthetic thing. Like, not a whole lot of curves, fine, that's pretty cool. But then the other version of that conversation is like, look at how sharp the front of some of these pieces here, how sharp it is. Not that you're gonna like walk up and poke the front of someone's truck very often.
Can it handle being crashed into at a speed of over 200 miles an hour? That's the real question. That's where I really want to know. Can it protect me from oncoming traffic if I make a wrong turn? That's all I want to know. What's the impact radius? How much can it take? Will I still be able to sleep through an accident?
My service center here in Dallas are getting 10 delivered as we are the few to get them.
You just stay letting niggas know you work for Tesla. Like, nobody asked, literally.
But that's a sharp corner piece of stainless steel right there and right there. And then this front piece here, it's this one huge, big stamped piece. And I had a couple conversations with people, engineers at Tesla, about using stainless steel on the body panels like this. And they have these huge presses that are stamping the stainless steel, but steel has this sort of a spring back effect. So you use a lot of force to stamp it in place and then it springs back.
Okay, let me see
What's
this.
going on here, actually? Look at this gigantic slope. It looks like a dump truck to me, but one thing you should know is, first of all, a dampened opening for the tailgate, but it's not a power opening tailgate, so you will have to manually close the thing.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, bro. This is a lot of storage space. Grocery store runs would go crazy. And who the fuck wants to steal this? Like, you gon' realistically speaking, okay? I know y'all dick suck Detroit a lot, but imagine I'm the only nigga in Detroit with a Cybertruck. Somebody steal it. I see you. I know who you are. Offer it. I go in the grocery store. I go into a Kroger to go get some like edibles and shit like that, bro. I already know who took my shit. You're not going nowhere with it. Resale value on this not even that crazy, probably. First of all. Second, I can have mad bodies in here. I'm real people. But like, if you wanted to put a bed in here, like literally, and just go to sleep, like on a car ride, the amount of like you got to think about convenience, you know? That's really what you got to think about.
Dampened opening for the tailgate, but
like, I don't even have to be in the front seat. Road trip shit, everybody get in the back seat on the bed and just chill.
It's not a power opening tailgate, so you will have to manually close the thing, but it is a nice soft damp. And then the other side is
it's like a coffin.
The powered tonneau cover. Oh wait, I should do the thing. They told me it could support up to 300 pounds.
What if you crash? I mean, look.
So they told me I could do it, so here we are.
What are you
I'm
doing?
not gonna jump, but I'm told 300 pounds of force from somebody standing on 1 foot. So I think if I jumped, I could probably break the thing. But the fact that I'm standing on it, it's not breaking. That's pretty good, and it's a motorized tonneau cover, which means...
And we got a sunroof on these niggas. Come on, man. You mean to tell me I'm not gonna put... Bro, sunroof on niggas with a bed in the back, laying down, with the top up, and we just driving, and I'm in the back, and I'm just chilling, and I got headphones? Bro, come on. We about to make a movie. This is crazy. This is awesome. We can do that.
Pretty smooth, I gotta say. Now, once you're here, there's a bunch of stuff I gotta talk about with this trunk. First things first, you probably noticed it slid down.
I'm not talking about fucking. That's not what I meant.
And revealed a rear window, which means, number one, yes, there's a rear window. It doesn't go up and down, but at least you have that glass there.
It looked like the back of a police cruiser.
And two, yes, that means that when you close the tonneau cover, you are completely blocking your rear visibility.
Oh my god.
We'll get to that later.
Wait, no rear view mirror. This isn't safe. This isn't drivable. I need my rear view.
So the other thing you probably noticed is when we first saw the Cybertruck, I did a video about this on the autofocus channel. The bed was just like bare stainless steel. It looked kind of sick. It looked crazy. But you'll notice now it is fully lined. Tesla said they took it out and talked to some construction people about it and were like, all right, what do you think of this truck? What do you think of the bed? And they were like, this is awesome. But the first thing I would do is spray line this so I could not damage it. So I just figured they would line it themselves. Nice thick lining here. The bed size. The official length of the bed for the F-150, the Lightning got over there, was 66 inches on paper. Now, when I line this up here, I get all the way to 72 inches, so it's a solid 6-foot bed. But there's a little bit of overhang over here, so if I subtract a little bit to
Chad, I'm like 71 and a half, 72 inches myself.
Account for that, it's about the same, 66 inches. And there's a little bit of a sub-trunk, which is pretty cool to see. So a lot of EVs now have a sort of sub-trunk area. This one, no different. You can definitely fit duffel bag in there, probably a full carry-on bag. And there is a drain plug, so if you want to make a cooler out of it, tailgate is a pretty good vehicle to do that. There's also some bed lighting. You can see on the left and right, there's lots of lights, and there's also this sort of a latch system, so all sorts of latch points where you can tie things down with cables. What you're probably noticing, though, is there's no spare tire, no spare wheel. If you do want one, you can buy one separately and tie it up.
Bro, imagine the wheel cost of this shit. Doors with no handles?
You're going to have door handles eventually. No door handles on the Cybertruck, and they're sticking to it. I have my concerns about this. So.
Oh, wait, this could be great.
Sean, most the time if it's not a rear view, it should be a camera to see your rear. Out Sprinter vans have it.
Yeah, that's cool and everything like that, but like actual like visible that I can see with my eyes and not looking at a screen. It depends on it. I prefer rear view still. Like, you just got to have something in the back.
Basically how this works.
This is great, potentially. Let's see.
There's a little button right here that's indented. You press that button, and when it's unlocked, it sort of pushes it out maybe 2 inches. And you grab in here and open the whole door. And then you close it. The auto-presented windows, they all close themselves up here. They're frameless windows.
Nobody's stealing my shit then.
That's cool. It works. Same thing actually back here.
It don't look the most convenient, though, I'll be honest.
Smaller button. You press it. It opens it. And it works. And this is actually a full 90-degree door. I love that there's like stainless steel in here. It's very clearly all metal. It's got a nice thunk to it too. But what I've noticed, and this is something you'd already be thinking of if you live in the Northeast or something, is if it's cold, or if it's raining, or if it's frozen, if there's like an inch of ice over here, is this gonna work? Tesla's telling me, and this is a California company that
Don't tell me they got heated shit, bro. Don't do that.
tells me these things, but they're telling me up to an inch of ice, if you can break through that ice and press this button, it'll push with enough force to open it and break the ice off.
I very strongly doubt that. I doubt that. That just don't even sound right.
I hope that's true. That's debatable. We'll see. But the other thing about that is I think a lot of people are going to open it down here on the stainless steel, and you can see the fingerprints go so hard when you open it like that. And because there's no door handles, there's not really a good way of telling someone how to get in.
Bro, this is like an iPhone, like a fresh iPhone with no like cover on it or on the back. You just gonna riddle it with fingerprints over time. Even after a quick car wash, you got to immediately like wipe it down after you touch it. Now I'm seeing the fingerprints and it look crazy.
So a lot of people are just going to grab it right there and fingerprint. Look at, it's just tons of fingerprints on the side here. So I don't know. There's going to be a lot of Cybertrucks floating around with lots of fingerprints around the place that people's hands go to open the doors. All right, front of the truck here, a couple things that are of note. First of all, if we go down low, this plastic bumper, pretty solid, but also there's 2 tow hitch rigs on the front, which is awesome. There is a front camera for the first time ever in a Tesla, believe it or not. That's useful on a truck like this where you can't actually see over the front. Then you have this huge daytime running light, but also the headlight.
Where you can't see over the front. Yo, who is this made for?
The actual headlights are just these slots down here. I'll show some night. You'll see some night driving footage, so you'll see what the headlights look like. But then the thing everybody's been asking about, and I've seen mostly on Twitter, is there actually a front trunk in here? If so, how big is it? Yes, there's a front trunk, and it's automatically opening.
Show
so you
it
just
to
reach in
me.
and push the button in like that, and it's a pretty shallow front trunk. I gotta say.
Never mind. You could have let that out the video. I don't even need to see it. Not that that's like a horrible size, but like I thought that was gonna be like way crazier than it actually was. What's the interior looking like?
.com/MKBHD. All right, so now let's get to the interior of the Cybertruck.
Oh my god!
And once again, there's a lot going on, but I think probably the first thing you notice is the only curve in the entire interior is this steering wheel. And yes, it's a wheel. It's not a yoke. I'm pretty sure when they first showed the car, one of the big things they showed was it had a yoke, and it had this crazy like marble shelf at the front. Now it's looking a lot more normal car-like, but there's still a lot to go over. So first of all, this glass canopy from the nose of the car, basically, all the way back to right in front of my head, is the single largest piece of glass in the entire automotive industry. Like if you tried to order a piece of glass this big for your house, it would be a big piece of glass. But this is the biggest windshield we've ever seen. And it kind of is this nice dramatic canopy when you're just like looking around, and visibility in the truck is very good. You also have these... I
actually like the way it looks and how much I can see. Big issue for me though is why something like this doesn't have like auto, what do you call that, like sun reflection glass or whatever they call it. Like I don't like that.
Little removable sunshades. They're actually pretty big, and there's this nice
glare. There you go. It's glare.
It's magnetic
anti-glare
up top to get that in place. So that's cool and everything. But aside from that, no other curves. Lots of straight angles and triangles and things like that. A good amount of door storage. So I think you could fit probably 2 water bottles in there. There's some tray storage up here. Then you get up to here, and there's all 4 window controls. The door latch to electronically open it, but also the emergency door latch open. So if you lose power, every door that's electronically latched has to have that manual opening as well.
This is like the least human thing in existence, I feel like. Like I feel like this car isn't made for a person, it's made for a robot. Because who the fuck gets in this whip and they're like, yeah. Like, how could you be proud of this?
And in the middle, you've got just kind of a bunch of open space. I kind of like the pedals down there.
Like, nobody in 40 or 50 years from now, I feel like, is going to have that story, like that character building arc where it's like, damn, I remember I was driving in my Tesla and I was broke. Like, it's just not the... it don't have that level of like, yeah, like this is my baby, I'm gonna be proud of this, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be one of my first few things. Like I don't see myself, I've grown with certain cars sometimes. It's for your AI. Chill. It look cool. You think it look cool? Hey, that's you.
I think they're metal.
That's
you. Then you have just this big open tray space, which I believe the Rivian also has, and then in front, 2 wireless chargers, 2 cup holders.
It's not for regular niggas though. That's true, you're right. But I'm looking at this, it's just like, I'm really seeing it. Like, I'm really seeing how, like, industrialism is really just kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a copy paste ass nigga. I really do feel like that. I feel like, you know, I this for the first time, I actually feel like I'm on a conveyor belt. Like, that's what it feel like. I feel like I'm just a part of it. If I get in this, I feel like I'm on a conveyor belt and there's nothing else to me.
There's a big old armrest in the middle and a bunch of storage in here, including another 120 volt outlet and a single 65 watt USB-C charging port. And then you're sort of in a cabin. And this is where I think you kind of return to the normal Tesla look, which is very minimal. I do like this material better than what they had before, though. It's not the best build in the world. Tesla's been improving with their build quality, but it is what it is. But you can like lose something in front of you. Like if I put like a marble or a pizza box or something, it could slide forward. Of course, I could accelerate and get it back, but there's just a ton of room. And then I'm thinking about visibility over the nose of the car. Man, it's not great. I feel like the more I drive this car...
So I understand all we get at my service center is Asians, Middle Eastern, and white, so it's not for everyone liking.
Sorry, it's the way you started that off. It's just also crazy to me. Somebody said it's too minimal, but it's also doing the fucking most too. It's so weird, and it don't really maintain that balance. It's literally like on the most extreme side of both of those spectrums. Like it's doing the absolute least for what it actually is purposed as, and also doing the absolute most.
The more I get accustomed,
because what fucking vehicle looks like this?
To the size of it, but I really don't feel like I'm looking right down over the nose. I'm looking out at the end of the windshield and then sort of guessing where the nose is. So, okay, a couple of smaller things. First of all, this light up here, touch sensitive. I think that's pretty cool. There's ambient lights all the way around the cabin, and you can change the color of that with RGB with software. I'll get to the software in a second. There's also an interior facing cabin camera, and there would normally be, this is one of the prototype things, but there would normally be a regular rear view camera here. Now, as I mentioned, you don't actually get to see out the back from the mirror if your tonneau cover is closed. But there also is no camera option for that rear view mirror to turn into a feed from a camera. Instead, that will always be on the screen. And I think I found that it's actually fine. You just sort of train yourself to glance at the top of the screen instead of at where the mirror normally is, but that's something to note. And one more thing, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, huge tinted roof over your head, all the way back over the passengers' heads, and a ton of speakers. Not a single curve to any of the speaker grills, but there are speaker grills all over this cabin, and they're all either trapezoids or squares. Okay, something I just realized. I thought that it was required that the only actual physical button you need in your car is the hazards button. This truck does not have a hazards button. It has a touch-sensitive hazards thing, but then there's also your park, reverse, neutral, and...
Whoa, what the I never in a million years would have thought that this... No. It has to be in the center. I don't care if it's a dial or if it's buttons. It has to be on the center, right where my right hand can touch it immediately. I know your right hand can still touch this, but up instead of below is just... Why would you do this? You're asking for me to get into an accident because I'm not remembering this. Only thing I'm touching in the up direction is my lights. Maybe you know, check your mirrors and stuff like that. You do this to pull down the mirrors and check a little something. You're not doing this. You're not remembering this. I'm sorry.
Drive gears if you actually want to change them.
I know you got to pull off, but no. With a button, I'm sorry.
Up above your head. I've never seen it there in any car. Ever, actually. Typically, it's right in front of you with the paddle shifters or your gear selectors, and you can still do it on the screen like you can in other Teslas, but that's new. That's definitely new.
Yeah, that's not new. That's just a horrible idea.
The back seat of the Cybertruck. It's weirder than we think. All right, first of all, I like that the doors open 90 degrees. You get the seat back in front of you. Really good rear legroom. Mostly because the seat in front of me is on these cool Cybertruck-looking rectangular risers, but that means I have real space for my...
is for middle-aged people or old rich people and or a family-type people in our Model X.
Bro, you are actually marketing. We're not buying it, okay? It's fine.
My feet under the seat in front of me, which is huge for legroom. So, either side, totally fine. Middle, not the best legroom ever, but still a totally great back seat. Got another screen back here that I'll show you in a second. There's a little bit of seat back storage. Oh, check this out. There's a little trick to the back seat. Just for storage. So, although you already have a front trunk and a rear trunk, if you want even more covered storage...
Y'all saying all this shit like he not cooking, but one of y'all DMing his ass, can I get the... Yeah, can you give me the discount on some shit, bro? Like, I got my whole check and shit, like... Just hook me up real quick. You be in Sean chat and shit. I don't know what you mean.
Storage with this latch right here. The right seat actually comes completely up, and you can just keep stuff down here if there's no person here. Matter of fact, the left two seats come over here. Also do the same thing. I'm gonna get out and pull that latch as well. And then that's a ton of room for activities. Look at this. Not that that's
niggas. Nigga said that's a ton of room for activities. Oh my god, bro. Niggas are amazing.
What if the button gets stuck?
Hey, then you stuck, bitch. Activities is hilarious.
It's better than having a seat, but you can put a bunch of...
Oh, and the first thing this nigga do is lay down. I actually see the full purpose of this vehicle now.
Boxes back here. You can put, I don't know, you can just put stuff back here. Also, there's the 9.5-inch screen for the passengers, which is where I discovered you can move the passenger seat, not the driver's seat, on the screen. And these are also heated left and right, not middle, but heated left and right rear seats. They look ventilated, they look cool, but they don't do that, just heat. Or you just like watch a movie or direct your airflow. Cool. Okay, so whenever you're talking about a new vehicle like this, a new platform like this, you got to talk vehicle controls. So as I'm in the driver's seat, that's going to be this new 18.5-inch touchscreen in the center, biggest ever in a Tesla. It's also the biggest ever car. And the steering wheel, which I got a lot to say about it, but you're going to notice it looks pretty familiar to any other Tesla, but they have made some key changes that I think I actually like a lot. There's still no stocks. There's still no blinker stocks, still no drive, reverse, all that stuff. But the buttons on the steering wheel are, at least now, haptic. Like actual buttons. They're not haptic touch controls where you touch it and it vibrates to simulate a button. No, it actually clicks and moves this time. So that's awesome.
That's good.
So at least that's better. So that's
too bad the fucking shit is on the top of the shit.
Blinkers on the steering wheel. That's your headlights. That's your giant windshield wiper, which I'll talk about, and your voice controls. You still got your wheels up and down.
No, bro.
For volume of media and your autopilot controls. And then this sort of a flat squircle, I guess is what you'd call it, like a squared off circle type thing for the steering wheel. Oh, and then it's a real horn. This time. There's no like button on the steering wheel horn like in my car. So I really appreciate that. Also, again, no Tesla logo.
Weak ass horn.
On the steering wheel. It's a Cybertruck like trapezoid silhouette type thing. So again, I think the only Tesla logo in the whole car is literally the key. Same as every other Tesla.
Baby voice ass horn, bro. That's crazy.
But that brings us, of course, to the new software. So I think they've done an actually really, really good job with the software in this all new Cyber UI. So if you've used a Tesla
Cyber UI. Oh my God. Is that a Spotify button? Yo, what? Why wouldn't I be able to change my gears from the screen as opposed to it being up top? But then again, you might have an application that opens and takes up your whole screen, and then now I can't change gears because I got to exit out of everything. It's just so much.
An actually really, really good job with the software in this all new Cyber UI. So if you've used a Tesla before, it's laid out the exact same way, but it's all feet.
When people are in it, that it stops when
Great.
something is wrong or need maintenance. Lol. So yeah.
It just will stop. Why are you marketing still? It just will stop though? That's crazy. This is too much for me, bro. I just need regular lights. Like, what is all of this? What if all my settings go down one day? I gotta like do a system refresh or a system reboot. I mean, I gotta put everything back together. You could change oh my God, there's so much customizability. The insane steering.
Or a little softer. I gotta say though, the steering is, in my opinion, the craziest thing about the Tesla Cybertruck. Crazier than the design, crazier than the dimensions, crazier than everything else about it, is the steering. So it's a steer-by-wire system. This is the first time Tesla's done this. You can't actually change the steering weight or steering feel. It's always the same ratio all the time, but it's crazy for two reasons. One, there is rear axle steering, and it is very, very active and really helpful. And two, is the total turn is less than 180 degrees for your maximum tightest turn. Usually you're used to doing a whole bunch of movement on the wheel. You don't have
I would prefer the extra movement, to be honest.
To do that anymore, so that kind of makes the muscle memory of grabbing the top of the squircle useless. So first of all, the rear wheel steer, it's awesome. It's up to 10 degrees in
He's saying this like you won't be culturally shocked at all.
the opposite direction of the front wheels at low speeds under 40 miles an hour. And what that does, if you've heard of this before, it effectively shortens the wheelbase and allows you to turn way, way tighter. I think we'll do a sort of comparison with the F-150 Lightning, which is a normal truck that doesn't have 10 degrees of rear wheel steer. And this one, it just means you can turn way sharper. It feels way more nimble in parking lots. It feels like it shrinks the wheelbase, the whole dimensions of the truck.
I don't like that, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
It's great. It takes some getting used to.
I know. That's what he just said. It takes some getting used to. I don't want to get used to that.
But it's very useful. And then at higher speeds, above 40 miles an hour, is when it actually changes 1 or 2 degrees.
See, the problem isn't necessarily you converting your knowledge of driving into the Tesla. It's once you get out of it. Because once you get used to the re-encryption that you got to do to your brain to drive this bitch, once you go back to driving regular cars, if you want to, it's going to be harder to relearn it. You know what I'm saying?
In the same direction as the front wheel. So that's going to feel
I don't want to learn this.
or like lengthening
Like everything else don't go by this.
the wheelbase and a more stable movement, changing between lanes at highway speed, stuff like that. But the fact that your entire steering radius is right there in less than one turn, like half a turn, is crazy. It takes some getting used to. It is awesome that you can turn around so easily and make those tight parking lot maneuvers and make this big truck feel smaller. But it's a lot. It's going to take some getting used to, but I think we should just get to driving this thing. So let's do it. Let's drive the Cybertruck. All right, driving the Tesla Cybertruck.
That pull off was so fucking responsive, and I get it. But for a truck this size, I need you to go slower, bro.
Feels like a Doug Miro way to start the video, but man, okay. It still doesn't really feel like a real vehicle, but it definitely is. And first impression really is, well, okay, it feels like a Tesla. That's not gonna be a shocker.
Just plow
really
into that tree real
response.
quick and see
This
what
is the
happens.
turbo motor version, it's the beast. But also like spacing wise, I'm just looking around, just trying to feel how big this vehicle is. This is a small road, school bus. I'm able to maneuver around though. I have pretty good visibility.
My mouth pause. I get in my car but thinking I'm still in a Tesla. You gotta get used to it, lol.
Yeah, I don't think I would ever want to drive this.
Everywhere, I'm just thinking a lot about where the nose.
Unless the standard for this wheel specifically becomes like the standard for all vehicles or most vehicles, I would never want to drive this as like a main vehicle.
The truck is, because it is such a short nose. It's a really different ratio. I'm not used to the hood being that short compared to where the windshield is, but either way, it's pretty quiet. I will say these laminated windows do a good job of sealing out all the noise.
Or I just have it drive me everywhere on some Uber shit.
They also happen to be shatterproof. The truck also happens to be allegedly bulletproof. I'm not testing that in this video, but
Wait, where'd those come from then?
you've seen the pictures. So the idea is it's really well built. I'm just trying to figure out, all right, this feels nimble, right? Steering is, the weight's not going to change, so this is the way it always is. Getting used to steering is really going to be the number one thing for people. They're not going to be used to the entire steering being less than an entire turn. It's a half a turn, 180 degrees. I think it's 170.
Bro, oh my God.
And it is a pretty big truck, but I feel like it's a tiny bit smaller than the F-150 Lightning. I think I did a good job of giving you as much space as you can. Like, this is a spacious cabin, spacious back seats, as I showed you, and a full 6-foot bed, but it's got the smallest frunk, even smaller than the smaller Rivian R1T. So they kind of pushed around the dimensions a little bit. But second thing is just the vast distance between me and the front of the windshield, and then I just straight up can't see the front of the car. I can't see the nose, no matter how high I look. That's just different, very different. So I'm gonna have to get used to. Okay, love that button. Blinkers are actually physical buttons, and now we're on a bit of a crazier road, so we can... Holy... Come on. That's crazy. Actually, the suspension pretty firm right now, and there is a large delta between the firmest suspension and the softest suspension that you can have. The body itself, thanks to the stainless steel, thanks to the way it's built, is very, very stiff, torsionally stiff. It's very rigid, and so all of that effort to be either soft or firm...
Do a barrel roll.
And so I just keep glancing there to see what's behind me. You can actually move it to the left or right hand side so you get a bigger preview when it's on the right.
I actually like that. I like the way the Tesla like shows the GPS and like the cars around and everything. Like, I actually do like that.
Or you can just move it on the left. So yeah, that's the Cybertruck muscle memory remap. It looks ridiculous. It might be logistically ridiculous too. I don't know if in the ice or the snow if it's going to be able to like break apart enough ice to move that huge
Wiper?
windshield wiper. There's probably a much bigger motor to move it, but
bro, you are permanently gonna have one side of your vehicle looking fucking crazy. See, this is the definition of just being different, just because you can. Because why? Look at this side, bro. You dirty as hell over here. It's like you missing spots in the shower.
it works. So Neil, if you're wondering, it doesn't quite...
Car wash exists? Yeah, but when you don't have a fucking car wash. Chan. You're not going to the car wash every fucking day just to get some dust off your car. Chan. It's not how it works.
Cover the entire windshield, but it does go above my head and cover 75% of what the passenger's going to see too. So I feel like it's working at least. And then the other thing to note is for your road tripping, totally compatible with all the Tesla superchargers. It has all the autopilot stuff that other Teslas have, but it's also now an 800 volt architecture. And what that basically means is it's able to charge faster at V4 superchargers, and it's able to make total wires thinner because they conduct better and they're more efficient, and so the total wire weight of the car goes down for all the high voltage systems. It also has a 48 volt low voltage system, which is 4 times the normal 12 volts you'd see in most cars. So in general, it feels future proof for that reason, but it'll still charge just the same as any other Tesla at V3 and V2 superchargers. A little more road noise too. You notice a little more all-terrain tread coming through the cabin. These bespoke tires, I'm told, do have foam in them, but you can still hear
Range
it and feel
extender,
it.
Final thoughts.
But I'm also going to include the steering as a pro. You got to get used to it, but again, that tight turning radius and how nimble it feels, like on a highway, that's remarkably responsive. Like I can turn my wheel like this in a Model S Plaid and it does not feel as responsive. That's a crazy thing to say. So then its downside is going to be one, just that people think it's ugly, and that's fine. A lot of people are going to think it's ugly. And two is it's more expensive than we originally thought. It doesn't have that price advantage. I am driving a $100,000 truck right now. There's no way around that. The F-150 Lightning I'm following right now is going to cost significantly less. The Rivian R...
Yeah, I'm getting a traditional truck easy over this, because I really don't see the selling point for real.
1T and the Hummer are also very expensive, but it's no longer in bench that we might have thought it was going to be. Now, this isn't a review. I haven't towed anything with this. I haven't used any of the trailer features. I haven't filled it up with rocks.
Well, they do say it's bulletproof, but like I said, like, who's actually going to use that? It's like car insurance for niggas that don't, like, drive. Like, what are we doing?
mud and gotten it dirty. I haven't off-roaded at all. There's a total separate off-road mode in the thing I haven't used. I haven't road tripped in it. I haven't lived with it. I do have an order, so I plan on doing all that. So make sure you get subscribed to see the full review of the Cybertruck when it comes out. But I think generally, as this is my second impressions ever and first time ever driving the thing, I think they really got themselves something solid here. We're gonna have to see about fit and finish. A lot of let's see, a lot of wait and see. But I'm impressed with this. I'm impressed. So let me know what you think. Obviously, there are going to be some polarizing thoughts on the looks. Let me know if you're in the this thing is ugly and I'll never buy it camp. Why is this thing looking like a
service center and or to do a demo drive for a regular Tesla 3 or why I think you'll like it.
No. I'm cool. You actually just tried to sell me crazy just now, though. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, that was the craziest marketing I think I've ever seen from a supposed... But, chat, he knew that this was coming. He's been saying that he works for Tesla for the past couple streams now. And now all of a sudden, when the Cybertruck, you know what I'm saying, we got like reviews out for it and shit like that. Like, they must have been telling him like from the very beginning, like, yo, tell anybody you can about this. Now he telling me to go to a service center and drive one of the vehicles after I literally just said I'm probably never driving this. Shit crazy as fuck when you think about it, man. You always being watched. Big brother on some shit.